So, with Switch 1 coming to a close, I think it's a good idea to go through our personal favorite Switch games and a top 12 list, if you will, with room for honorable mentions.
Yeah. I fought hard for 12, by the way.
He did.
We wanted to do 10, but we went 2 steps beyond.
For the record, my 10 was perfect, and it started to feel a little imperfect when we added some more slots, but I think I've got a really good list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And we can start with some honorable mentions.
Well, I mean, what were the rules? Like, did they have to be exclusives? Or just games on the Switch? What did we do?
The rules are that it's kind of just feeling it out. There are no hard rules, but the switchiness of a game is extremely important to this list. Like, it can't be a game that's just not a Switch game. And if it is a game that's on like other systems too, you have to kind of make your case for why it's on the list.
Like Persona 5, I will not hear it.
Yeah, it's not on mine.
That's
not a Switch game.
That was not on the Switch for 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because it is now doesn't make it a Switch game.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and we each have 5 honorable mentions, I believe.
We do, if I can remember what they were. Hold on.
And for the record, we have not seen each other's lists.
No. We did not share our list with each other. This is going to be a surprise for both of us.
Yeah.
You want to do your honorable mentions first? Just throw out some names. What are they?
Okay. I've got... Actually, hold up.
You didn't have your list open either?
No, I've got it open. I'm just realizing an issue. I have 6 honorable mentions.
I'll allow it.
Tetris Effect.
Okay.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
Okay.
Now, I will say about Generations Ultimate, it might have ended up on my list if I didn't just go so hard on the 3DS version. So it's just kind of...
Tetris Effect is not a Switch game, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's off the list for a reason, even though it's a very, very good game.
I agree, but it's a PlayStation 4 game.
It's the only version I own, though.
Okay. Fair.
And these next 3 honorable mentions are ones that I really feel like were very close. And it's 3 indie titles, Night in the Woods, Celeste, and Hollow Knight.
Okay. Fair.
Now, I love all 3 of those games. And I got them all around the same time. And it's kind of like an important part of my Switch journey. But they just didn't feel Switchy enough. Like Hollow Knight, for example, it's great to play on the Switch still, but it's so slow. Like no one would recommend playing it there first, I don't think.
Well, the Switch is the indie game machine, so we need some representation. I hope some snuck onto your list.
Sort of.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Do you want to hear my honorable mentions?
I do.
The Splatoon games. We can count that as 2. So I have 6 as well. Splatoon 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Metroid Dread.
Dread. Yeah.
Puyo Puyo Tetris.
You know, I could have potentially added Puyo Puyo as well. That was a lot of fun. Early Switch game.
Yeah.
Another game I would have never bought if it weren't for just the fact that it was early Switch.
I bought 2. I did not finish 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't buy
1.
2. Puyo Puyo that's a hard game.
It is. I'm not as good at it as I am Tetris, but I'm still pretty good at Puyo Puyo.
Yeah, I have to do the cheesy strat where I'll build up 2 pillars on each side, and then I'll just... Yeah, well, I can't do it any other way.
Okay.
I'm not good at chaining.
Pokemon Violet, the next one.
Okay.
And my last honorable mention, I don't remember the name of it, but it's the Yu-Gi-Oh game. The whatever that is called. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dueler. I don't know. Whatever that game is
Master Duel?
I don't think that's what it's called.
No. Master Duel is like the actual TCG currently.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's I don't know. I reviewed
Forbidden Memories or something? I don't know.
Forbidden Memories is the PS1 game.
Okay.
This is the Yu-Gi-Oh game that's like an adaptation of the anime. You can like play the arcs from the anime.
I did not play it.
I don't know. I reviewed it in my Yu-Gi-Oh video a while back. So, all right, do you want to go first? Number 12?
Sure, yeah. My number 12 Switch game is The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus.
Oh. Okay.
That's a reaction. I didn't play Binding of Isaac before the Switch.
Okay. I mean, me either. I played it on my Xbox, though.
And a lot of people view Afterbirth Plus as like the worst version of Binding of Isaac. They think it's like too many bad items, too many like things that you pick up that are no good that you have to skip over. But it being my first experience, it was perfect for the Switch for me. It ran great. It was like addicting. I could get back in there. It was just such a nice game to play for when I had it, which was like right away. And it was one of those games like Cave Story Plus. It was like previous indie game. Now there's a physical version, and even better, a physical cartridge. So like Cave Story, I was like, have to get it. Binding of Isaac, have to get it. And it came with this manual. Most Switch games don't come with manuals. And the whole manual was inspired by Zelda 1. So
That's cool.
It's just a huge W. Great game, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Jason.
I don't like roguelikes. I don't like the randomness.
None?
I just don't like
You
them.
might just not have played the right one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't play a ton of Binding of Isaac, but I did buy it for the Xbox, and I played it for a little bit.
Which version? Rebirth?
I have no idea. No clue.
Okay, all right.
No idea. Whatever the cheapest one was in the Xbox store.
What is your number 12 game?
My
for
number
Nintendo
12.
Switch?
My number 12 game for the Switch. Controversial pick. Deadly Premonition 2.
Okay.
Doesn't have shit on the first one. The first one is on the Switch, but it's not a Switch game, as we established.
Right.
It does not belong to the Switch. It is a 360 game.
Now, Deadly Premonition 1 was a Goodwill game, correct?
No. I
No.
wish. I freaking wish.
I
If
thought
I
it
found
was-
Deadly Premonition, that would be the best thing ever.
Okay.
That game's kind of hard to get. That's like one of the more expensive 360 games, I think.
Okay.
And the PS3 version, I think, is worth more, even though that's considered a worse version. I don't know. That came out like years later, and they added shit. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, anyway, Deadly Premonition 2 doesn't have anything on the first game. It's nowhere near as good, and I think the way that it shipped, the state that it runs, is unacceptable, and they should be ashamed for putting out a game of that technical quality.
And yet it's better than thousands of other Switch games.
Yes. Well, the core of Deadly Premonition,
Right.
the guy who makes these games knows how to tell a story, and that the core of this game is still good. The core main campaign is good. But when you branch out the side stuff does not compare to one. So, a lot of negative things to say about Deadly Premonition 2. It's one of those games where like you need to adjust to the crap factor because it's not smooth. It's not even really that fun. But there was a huge controversy when it came out over one character.
It's not smooth.
Fine.
It's a terrible port. If I'm being honest, it's not even really that fun.
Well, it's not a,
anyway,
it's not
it's
a
my
port.
number 12 Switch game.
It's not a port. It's trapped on the Switch. It's the only thing it's on.
Okay, I didn't
So-
realize this.
It's a Switch exclusive.
So it's
I don't even
Switch
think it's-
through and through.
I don't even think it's on PC. No, it's just a Switch game that runs horribly.
All right, the switchiness might carry this one through somewhat like Devil's Third might be carried through a potential Wii U list.
It's still fun. It tries to recapture the magic and half succeeds, and that's good enough for number 12.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and say my number 11,
Yeah.
Tetris 99.
Good one.
It's my favorite way to play Tetris on the Switch. There's a lot of great ways to play Tetris. We've already talked about two, but Tetris 99 was just perfect. I remember like when it was announced, that's very direct. It was available as a shadow drop, and then it was a battle royale, which was like the new hotness. This was like when Fortnite was new. PUBG was still something people talked about. They don't talk about it anymore, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I could be wrong. Let us know in the comments.
It is the most fun multiplayer Tetris has ever been.
Yeah.
And it is my pick for the definitive way to play Tetris, even though there's some competition now because they just put the NES game on.
It's true.
Online.
It's
The
true.
Game Boy.
And the NES is a fun one to follow, especially
It is.
with all the speedrunning stuff. That excellent Summoning Salt video, for example.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Tetris 99 is also on my list, but it's not number 11. So
Okay. Ooh, well, spoiler.
okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. If you say one, I feel like I'll
about-
say it too.
Yeah,
So
how
what's
about how about when we get to that, we'll just like whatever. I'll just say that was it, and then we'll move on to your game. Like
Sure.
we double. Well, I predicted beforehand that we're gonna have 2 crossover games, and that was one of the ones I predicted.
Okay.
So-
So you were correct there.
We're on pace. So yeah, before we started this, I'm like, all right, I think we're gonna have 2 games in common on the list, and that was one.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to my 11, I guess.
yes.
My 11 is Sonic Mania.
Okay. Great pick.
It feels switchy, even though
Yeah.
it was a multi-platform release.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see, as here, I have it physical on Switch. I might actually rank this higher if it wasn't for the fact that the Sonic series is trapped in a never-ending loop of self-referential nostalgia. And most of the zones in Sonic Mania are remixes of old areas. They are fantastic remixes. Generally, the formula goes Act 1 sticks pretty closely to the old games, and then Act 2 busts the creativity open and gives you something completely new. I think it is tragic that we never got a follow-up, like just another... I think we all just wanted another Sonic game in this style.
Yeah.
Yet it didn't come to pass. It has been...
We got
8
Penny's
years.
Big Breakaway, but it's not Sonic.
I haven't tried that.
Yeah.
I mean, I should. I really enjoyed this, but... I thought about putting Origins Plus on the list as an honorable mention, but, you know, just one... I mean, one Sonic representation.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania, great game.
Yeah, I'm not... I don't have enough experience to really comment on Sonic as a franchise.
Yeah.
But the trailer, I was actually watching the Sonic, I believe it was the 25th anniversary party live as it was happening when they announced this game.
Is that when they announced it? I didn't remember that.
They did, but it didn't have like a trailer. Everyone was kind of like, oh, is it going to be Adventure 3? It wasn't Adventure 3. And that whole thing is worth watching just because it was an absolute train wreck. The whole way
I remember
through.
the audio issues. There was like a weird mic hiss the whole time or something.
It was bad.
Wasn't there like a guy in like a big chunky Sonic costume like dancing with a tray of chili dogs or something?
The fact that it was bad was actually what got me in on the ground floor because I heard it was a train wreck and I had to see for myself. So
nice.
I was watching out of morbid curiosity, but I will say when the trailer eventually dropped, like the Sonic Mania trailer later, I probably watched it in the ballpark of 20 times.
Well, they announced that and Forces at the same time. I remember that. I didn't remember if it was at that event, but
yeah, this isn't the announcement trailer. It's the one where it's like animated and they're going up the elevator.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just so good.
It's pretty good.
Like when he rockets out and goes through the ring and it spins around and he puts his like hands on his head like this.
What's crazy about Sonic Mania is you saw the trailer and you felt like you understood what it was going to be, and then it came out and it was exactly what was advertised, and then a little bit more. I would say
the secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your next one?
Well, my number 10 game for the Nintendo Switch is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Cool.
I know you're not a big Animal Crossing guy.
Never played a game in my life, not for 1 second.
I'll say this, I don't know what my 3DS list would be. New Leaf would absolutely be in the top 4 somewhere. New Horizons was a bit of a disappointment for me, but I still played it for like 400 hours.
That's what every single person I've ever heard talk about Animal Crossing on Switch says. Literally every single person I've ever had said anything about that game, that's what they say. Like, oh, it sucks. I played it for 1,000 hours.
I didn't say it sucked.
Yeah.
But it was just, I said it was a little disappointing because the Animal Crossing elements of it felt like a little less than, and like they were sacrificed for the crafting and for the terraforming stuff, like really building your own island.
Well, you made a big deal. You have a video about deleting your island.
Yeah, no one watched it.
Well, I watched it, and I was confused, and I told you I was confused. I'm like, what's
yeah,
going
no,
on?
I deleted it. I deleted it because it wasn't... It was done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would go in and there was absolutely nothing to be done. It was full to max capacity. All of my perfect dream villagers, I had beaten the game basically, and it just made me sad. Yeah. And you know, there was actually something called Nookazon. You could hire people. I tried doing this for fun. Like, I'd be like, oh, some weeds popped up. I go on Nookazon. You could hire people to come clean your weeds for you using the in-game currency.
I hate that.
Yeah, someone came over in like a literal maid outfit in Animal Crossing and was like picking the grass. It wasn't enough to keep me occupied, so I deleted it.
Yeah, I would delete the game after that.
No. I just deleted my save. I didn't delete the game.
No, but I would delete. I would just I would try and snap the cartridge.
Yeah, well, my favorite thing about the game in the end game was you could draw on people.
Defined end in Animal Crossing. There's not a from
The
what
Animal Crossing
gathered,
endgame.
From what I gather, it's just a chill game where nothing happens. How is there an end game?
Well, once you've like created your perfect utopia, basically, there's nothing to do.
Then it's the end game.
I would hire people to come in and draw on my bulletin board, and that was a lot of fun. Like you could hire artists to come. Again, end game currency.
Yeah.
I would volunteer my services to go draw. I'm not a good drawer, but it was just fun. Like the community and like all of the resources built around the game were very interesting.
The drawing, it missed the boat on the Wii U. That would have been great.
It would have. It would have been so much easier. But enough of that. You don't even like Animal Crossing. So what's your number 10?
This is going to be the stupidest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Doubt it.
It's going to be the dumbest moment of our entire YouTube career.
Okay.
The Sega Genesis collection is number 10. This is a reference to when Movie Bob did a top 10 games of Generation 6 or 7, whatever generation they were coming out of. And he put the Data East collection for the Wii on his list. And that has lived in my head rent-free all these years. So I wanted to shout out Movie Bob for the time that he put the Data East collection on his top games from not just the Wii. It was like of all that generation, like of the 360 Wii PS3 generation. He's like, I played a lot of the Data East collection. But take a look at this game list. We got Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle.
Okay.
Piece of crap. Alien Soldier, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis. That's a good one.
Altered Beast belongs.
Altered Beast does belong. It's an iconic Genesis game.
Yeah.
This was before the Switch Online, also, by the way. Before,
that's right. They added
this collection. Yeah, this collection
that makes it even worse.
They added honorable mention to the Genesis app. The Genesis app doesn't have all the games this has, and the Genesis app actually has a few that this doesn't have.
How do they run? Is the emulation equal?
It's perfect. Yeah, it's the same. It's Sega Genesis. They know what they're. It's not hard to emulate.
Yeah,
but we got both Shining Force games. They don't have CD, no Sega CD games, but they do have 1 and 2, and Shining in the Darkness. I actually forgot about that. You got Rystar, a game that I used to own, but I sold it, and now it's like $200.
That sounds familiar. What's that one like?
That's the one. It was made by Sonic Team, and it's a star, and he like grabs things.
I'm gonna look it up. I need
it's
to
pretty
see a
cool.
visual.
There's a gaming historian episode from probably 15 years ago. Light Crusader's good.
Oh, the Star guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Landstalker's good. They got Phantasy Stars 2, 3, and 4. Not 1, because it was a Master System game.
They could have put 1 on there.
And in the 360 Genesis collection, it's an unlockable game.
That's cool.
I think you have to beat like Phantasy Star 2 and then 1 unlocks. Yeah, Gunstar Heroes, Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon sucks. I don't know why I said that. Vector Man. Yeah, just the Genesis collection. Play some Genesis games.
Well, solid list so far. Yeah.
All right, you're up.
All right, okay. My number 9 game, Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh, I thought we escaped because it was on honorable. Okay.
Yeah, you thought. I'll say this: I prefer Generations Ultimate as a complete package. However, Monster Hunter Rise is a Switch game.
It's also I've actually played it for I think about 30 hours.
There you go. So you've actually got some experience.
Unfortunately,
it was a disappointment to me in the end because it could have been so much better. And the thing is, the base game was great, and then it was Sunbreak, and when the DLC for Sunbreak came out, that was supposed to fix everything, and they just did not add enough. Ultimately, for me, and the challenge level wasn't there. And when they tried to make things hard, it was just you're getting one shot. But it's funny. I'm just complaining, really, about my number 9 favorite things.
Say positive things about Monster Hunter Rise. Do it.
You're right.
What do you like about Monster Hunter?
The movement is great in Monster Hunter Rise. It ditches the old system of like going into zones and it being completely separate, and it brings in the Monster Hunter World style of like open zone that's like more like open world, but really not. Yeah. I play Hunting Horn in those games, and this game made it a lot easier to get into other weapons. So I played a lot of Insect Glaive and Sword and Shield, and I had a genuinely fun time playing with a lot of my friends. This was the game that I played most with my friends on the Switch, like as a whole, as
It's a
opposed
friend
to
game.
yeah. It was a blast. And the funniest thing is, the best part about this game, the most fun I had, period, was I dumped 30 hours into the demo.
Really?
And the demo has this fight that's harder than anything you're going to encounter in the main game, basically, because you can't have better gear.
Oh.
The Magnamalo fight was way overtuned. And so, like, we had a blast in that demo. And that's why I think, like, we were all kind of hoping it was going to maintain that level of fun. And it didn't quite get there. But it's still a fantastic game. And I thought it was a beautiful game, visually. I love the visuals.
I'll give it that. Did it have nice graphics for the Switch?
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
one where just a bunch of friends of mine were getting it at the same time, so I'm like, why not? If I'm
Why
ever
not?
going to try and get into Monster Hunter, I'll try it now. And I played it, and I'm like, what is this trash? Like, my big thing is it feels like every fight would last half an hour, and it felt like the monsters never reacted to anything that you did. You would stand behind them and just attack them and attack them and attack them and attack them, and they wouldn't even turn around. And I'm just
Well-
like, what is this garbage? I hate this.
The issue there with it taking a long time is mostly because I wasn't in your party. We would have made quick work of anything.
I don't know, man.
I'm just kidding.
I played it with like 4 other guys, and we just. I remember it just like the combat was so not engaging.
What weapons did you try?
I don't know. I don't fucking remember.
I'll say, like, the thing is, I probably spent 3 or 4 hours the first time I ever tried Monster Hunter just testing out the different weapons to kind of pick what my favorite was.
The first one I tried, I didn't realize was like a port of a PS2 game. I got the one on Wii U.
Oh,
I didn't know that
Monster
was-
Hunter 3.
Yeah, that's like a port of a port, from what I understand.
Or did you get Try? Try was on the Wii, I think.
It was a Wii U game. It was not
Monster
a Wii
Hunter
game.
3 Ultimate, probably.
Whatever it was, I put it in, and I'm expecting a premium HD Nintendo experience, and what I got looked like a Dreamcast game, and I was immediately turned off. And I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any friends to play it with, so I was just like, I was like wandering around, just like killing small dinosaurs, and I'm like, this is lame.
3 is the first one I tried as well, but I tried it on the 3DS first.
Sure.
Yeah. And I also decided at the time, the first time I tried it, this is not for me.
Oh, okay.
It was only later that it kind of clicked. But it's kind of weird. Like, that's old Monster Hunter worked clearly in new Monster Hunter now. Like, it's a different universe.
It seemed like the same to me.
It's not.
Even with other people, I was like, what? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And it
Well, if
feels-
you've still got the game, I'm down to play.
No, I mean, I do. I don't sell games, but no.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not playing that again.
what's your number 9 game?
My number 9 game is something that I definitely would play with you.
Oh,
It's Mario Party Superstars.
okay.
It's back, baby. They brought Mario Party back. So, the big knock on the modern Mario Parties is that they just don't give you enough stuff, right? That's like probably the chief complaint.
Not enough maps.
But I would say, if you get 5 parties with 3 other people, you've done good. You've delivered the promise of a Mario Party. That's enough. As a
How many
cynical,
how many maps are in this one?
Just 5.
Okay.
It's always 5.
Well, no.
That's fine.
There's 6 in some of the earlier ones.
Yeah, but like, like, that's fine. I'm fine with 5 maps because, like, realistically, as an adult, you're not gonna get to play a lot of parties. You're just not. You don't get to play Mario Party a lot. You're not a kid anymore. When you're a kid, I think it's fair to expect to get more than 5 games out of a Mario Party. But I think, like, the value, like, dollar spent per, like, match had, like, fun had, like, you're getting 5 parties, man. And you could even
when I was a
replay
kid,
one if you want.
I didn't care about any of that stuff. I just would see Mario Party and want it.
Yeah, I mean, I want, like, the conceit with this one is they brought back, like, the N64 mini games and maps from the
Yeah.
N64 games, and it's good.
Yeah, well, N64 ones are my personal favorites, and
Yeah,
GameCube
same.
close second.
I didn't play any of the GameCube ones, but, like, the N64 ones I love. So, yeah, just like a remake of basically just an amalgamation of the 3 N64 Mario parties. Sign me up. It's a good time.
Well, what's your favorite Mario Party, if you don't mind me asking?
It's probably 2.
Yeah, two's a classic. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with 2.
Well, I didn't grow up with 3. I had 1 and 2 on N64, and 2 is just better than 1. So
Yeah, I think overall
Well,
probably 2 is best, but
wait. Not the game, just the Monopoly map in 8. That's
In
my
8?
favorite. That's my favorite.
For the Wii?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the Monopoly like hotel buying map. If you're gonna play one Mario, like you get one party to own them all, it's 8 on that map.
Well, at that point, wouldn't you just want Fortune Street?
That's a different thing.
It is a different thing, but I still really want to play Fortune Street with you.
We'll play it someday.
Okay.
Remind me to bring it up. I would have brought it up last time. I just didn't remember.
Yeah. I want to play as the Dragon Quest II characters.
Sure.
Yeah. I just think it's so ridiculous that there are characters in that game.
All right.
Anyways.
Yeah, what's your next one?
Yeah, moving on to my personal number 8. It's F-Zero 99.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Have you won races?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
I think I have. The thing is, there's kind of a history I'll briefly touch on. I think I have 12 or 13 first places.
That's crazy.
And I have a first place with every vehicle.
That's crazier, yeah.
Yeah, so like I got good at that game. And now if you go in, it's going to be a lot harder because the only people still playing now are
sweaty tryhards.
Yeah, well, I get it though because it was so much fun. This is a game, when they announced it, I was like, that looks awesome. We'll see though, because it sounds like it could be chaotic. And it was just an absolute blast. And I played that game nonstop from like when it came out all the way through the new year, basically. It was like I put way more hours than I anticipated. And it was just like, I never played F-Zero.
Really?
No, I never
played. It doesn't control like it.
It doesn't. It controls better because I went back and played F-Zero after and I was like, you know what? Well, actually, later they even added an F-Zero 1 mode into the game.
Really?
They have continually added stuff, and the music though amazing because it's just the same music, and it's just so good. It's stuck in my head right now. But yeah, that feeling of actually winning races because at the beginning I was like, I've never played F-Zero. I'm not good at this. Literally no way I'm going to get first, and a few times I did, and it felt really really good. So that's my number 8 pick. It was just my favorite 99 iteration. Super Mario 35, I could have even done a honorable mention though. That was a pretty good game, but it's gone now.
Yeah, that is a shame. It's baffling Nintendo just like got rid of it.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Tetris 99, so we could just have the whole 99 discussion right here.
Yes.
I've won over 100 Tetris 99s.
And you have a video.
Yeah, it's ancient. Yeah, talking about it. But I mean, so we already talked about Tetris 99, but what about Pac-Man? You ever play Pac-Man 99?
Pac-Man 99 was completely under my radar.
Did they delist that?
It's not available anymore.
I played that for about a week. I won probably a dozen games and was like, I'm all right.
I won a few of Mario 35. I'll say that.
I won 9 in a row Mario 35.
I don't think I won any back-to-back, but I got a few W's. It was funny, Pro Jared actually had tips on that, and they worked.
I really wanted to win 10 in a row so I could get the screenshot of all ones. But I only got 9.
I should check my screenshots because I know I took them. I've got like 10,000 plus screenshots on my Switch.
I'll send you this screenshot. It's legendary.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, my big thing with Mario 35, it would not sniff this list for me. Wouldn't even come close. Yeah. I think it had one fatal flaw. It's too easy. It's not too easy to win. Not too easy to win. The death conditions were not strong enough. When people...
They would go on way too long.
When two people were good at the game, it would last over a half hour.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
it's just an endurance test. That's not fun. Yeah,
exactly. Like Tetris 99 has a great ramp up at the end where it ensures the victor.
I will say this, embarrassingly so, I've never won Tetris 99. I've never gotten first.
It's harder now. It's like F-Zero.
I played at the beginning, still didn't sniff it. I've gotten third multiple times, fourth, like fifth and sixth multiple times. I think I only got fourth once. Something like that. But
if I don't get top 10, it's a failed game, honestly.
I don't think I've ever gotten second and never first.
I never came close to winning an F-Zero 99, so.
Well, I will say I never ever looked up strategies or anything for Tetris 99, so I never
nothing
knew if I was
complex.
doing the right thing.
Play better. That's the
Play
strategy.
better. That's the
Yeah,
strat. Well, like there's
pretty
all this
much.
stuff you can do. Like
Yeah.
like
It never made a
there's
difference to me.
I don't know what the KOs do. I don't know what any of that stuff does.
There was a long stretch of time where I played it with the Super Nintendo controller, like without even the thumbsticks, and I still won games that way.
Okay,
So-
well, another question. What theme do you usually play under for Tetris 99? Because there were so
Oh,
many
it
things that
needs
would
to-
always pull me back. That was such a fun thing about that game.
It needs to be a non-distracting one. There's quite a few that are not distracting, but a lot of them are. I try to keep it pretty basic, but like not terrible. I would have to like I don't even know. It's been a
So
while.
you,
It's been
you
a
never
long time
had
since
like
I
a
played it.
standard that you would always go back to.
No. I would like pick one and then play it for a while and then
I would
Pick another
switch
one
it
to
out
play for a
pretty
while.
often too. So
Yeah.
that's fair. But I thought it was cool. Any new Nintendo game coming out, it was like an excuse to jump back in the game.
yeah, because they drop a new theme.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you know what? You play like 4 or 5, you unlock it for good.
Are we forgetting a 99? Is there another one?
We touched on the 4 of them, I think. F-Zero, Tetris.
Was that all of them? I'm trying to remember if there was another one.
I don't remember any others.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we're forgetting it, but I guess yeah. All right, what's your number 7?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
You don't like that game?
No, I do. Look at my Cappy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. True.
I will say though, not a crossover game. Not on my list.
Not on your list. That's
No.
too bad. Not even an honorable mention.
It was close, you know.
Okay.
Not quite though.
Well, I'll say I loved it.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't like the kind of game that I came back to a whole bunch. I played it, I beat it, I really enjoyed my time. The ideas were excellent. I thought there was just so much to do. I wasn't one of those guys who was like upset about the moons out in the open. Some people were like, "Oh no, you just pick them up," and it's like, "Yeah, there's like 900, man." Like,
Yeah.
there's fun ones too. The controls were great. I had a lot of fun trying to make like crazy jumps, like trying to make that jump to like the moon or whatever.
The movement is incredible.
It's so good. I loved the woods place the most. That was my
It's a good
favorite.
world.
Going down and like the different layers there. It felt really good because it also kind of retroactively validated and made Super Mario 3D World better. Because
How so?
I feel like there was this kind of thing in the fan base. People thought that we were never going to get a game like Sunshine or 64 again.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
And seeing something as like kind of like
I
contained
get what you're
as
saying.
3D World,
Yeah.
it was like I think it impacted some people's ability to enjoy that game because they were too focused on the fact that like this isn't what I want.
Excellent point.
But-
Yeah, you're right.
But now that Odyssey came out, it's like you can breathe a sigh of relief. 3D Mario and that style's not dead, and like now you can go back and enjoy that. Plus Bowser's Fury on the Switch.
It's great.
And
It's great. by the way.
yes, yeah. I always enjoyed 3D World. For the record, I was never
it's
a
great,
hater.
yeah.
Yeah,
Never
but
me either.
and the music for Odyssey was so fun.
Yeah.
The lyrics were hilarious. But yeah, so what was your number 7 pick?
Well, I mean, I'll talk about Mario Odyssey a bit. For
Oh,
a sec.
yeah?
For a sec.
Okay, yeah. Why is it not on your list?
It's not on my list because I hate the moons. I think
Hmm.
the system is bad. I think it's just a bad system. I don't like how it's weighted because you've got moons just in the open, and then you've also got moons that are like hidden away beyond huge platforming gauntlets. And it's like, I don't know. It feels messed up. Because like in one hand, moons are like almost as plentiful as like coins almost. Well, not quite, but they're everywhere.
No, it's a common complaint, and I was just one of the people that was not bothered by that. Basically,
It's just like the main incentive structure I wasn't a fan of. So
yeah, and it might be a part of the reason why I haven't replayed it yet. I feel like I
haven't replayed
want
it
to. I just haven't jumped back in quite yet. And it was also something I was kind of expecting a sequel to on this system.
They never did.
Yeah. And also, Isle Delfino got scrubbed from existence. Memory hold, if you will. Because it was on the promotional material. You could see the Dolphin Island, and they took it away.
They also took away Mario and the sombrero.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, they're on the original box art. There was Mario in a little sombrero and like a poncho, and then they took it away.
Well, that's still in the game, though, right?
It's still in the game. They just took it off the box art.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So my number 7 is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team DX.
That's a great pick.
This is the most heartfelt Pokemon game ever made. It's kind of a soulless remake, but like the original shines through, obviously. Like the art isn't as great as the 2D sprites. But whoever wrote the first 2 Mystery Dungeon games, they knew what they were doing. They knew how to write a story with the premise that they set up, which is, have you played through this game?
No.
Really? Why'd you say it was a great pick?
It was a great pick because I love Mystery Dungeon games.
Okay. Well, the premise of this one is you are turned into a Pokemon and you take a personality quiz at the beginning to determine what Pokemon you are.
Okay.
And then as you're like in the world of Pokemon, typical RPG apocalyptic things are happening and nobody knows why. Until you hear of a legend about how a human, like there's a legend like passed down through generation or whatever, you know, fucking a prophecy.
Yeah.
Is passed down on how one day a human is turned into a Pokemon and it spells the end of the world, and it's their fault because when they were a human, they were shitty to Pokemon. So it's like their way of punishing them. So you're aware of this legend, and
If you're shitty to Pokemon, you deserve punishment.
And you're like aware of this legend, and you turn into a Pokemon. So the whole game, you think that that's you. Spoiler, it's not you. It doesn't end up being you. But like, part of the like there's a huge chunk of this game is you spent like running from the law because they think you're the disaster Pokemon, and you gotta like run away and evade everybody. So you resolve all that, and then the post game, once you like, because that credits roll after you like you resolve that plot line.
Okay.
But then there's still like the missing thread of like, okay, so what was that legend? And then the entire post game is longer than the original, like the initial game. Of like figuring that out. It's like 2 halves to the game. It's great.
So what makes this version like special to Switch?
What are you talking about? Because it's a remake.
Like a complete remake?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's like, so it is a Switch game in your mind.
Yeah, because well, I mean, because the original was a Game Boy Advance game, which also released on DS, like at the same time. I had the DS
I heard
one.
about this game coming out, for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the graphics were the same on the GBA as the DS. So it was a Game Boy Advance game. So like they gave it like 3D visuals, and it doesn't look like a Game Boy Advance game anymore.
So does it play like Sheeran?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should get it, honestly. That sounds like fun.
This is a game that came out and then nobody talked about it. Like ever. After that. The remake anyway. I guess people talked about the original. All right, so that was my 7. What's your 6?
My 6.
Yeah.
Well, this one is kind of like an interesting pick for me. I have mixed feelings about almost every game I play. But
sure.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe pre-DLC.
I feel like you have to put it on your list.
I do.
You do. Yeah.
I do. It's the social aspect of this game was something crazy for me. So
yeah.
But I did mention pre-DLC because we've already kind of talked about it, I believe.
Yeah.
But real quick, I don't think the DLC courses fit with the rest of the game. I don't like the way that they work in general. I think they look cheap in comparison. And I don't like that they don't have any 3D hover modes. You can say that doesn't matter, but I don't like that that's not a part
I never
of
noticed that. Is that true?
None of the new tracks have any 3D. Or not 3D, sorry. The hover
I know
mode.
what you mean. I know what you mean. I never put that together. I never realized that. Yeah.
Yeah, the texture is it's just a little sloppy. And like, I get excited when I see an N64 or a GameCube track returning that I want to play, but then when it looks so downgraded, it just killed all excitement for me.
This is an interesting discussion because the presence of the new content, even though you can just ignore it, makes the game worse for you.
It does. It does because I can't just ignore it if I'm playing online. I didn't buy it, but you still play those tracks if you play online. So I'm forced to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Good point. If you're online, like, you do have to interact with it.
On my own time, sure, but I mean, when are you not playing online?
Exactly. You have to play online.
So this game had a long life cycle for me because I was a Wii U owner, as were you. Yeah. So a lot of the Wii U there's not any Wii U ports to my knowledge that are on this list because those are Wii U games to me. And this one is an exception because like there wasn't a battle mode on the Wii U version.
They added it later.
They did?
Yes, but you had to do it on the racetracks. They did not have separate battle tracks.
That's right. That's right. You did it on the racetracks. I also purchased the DLC in that game. But this game was like, it's funny. I'm going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Online app. Should I tell this story?
If you want, man, it's your story.
Maybe. Well, I didn't think anyone would ever use this app, basically. And like one night playing solo, you just see it pop up on your screen. 8 people are on voice chat.
In the whole world, there were 8 people that were in voice chat.
In my lobby, there were 8 people on voice chat. And it blew my mind because I was just like, hold up. People are using this? You know, like, because everyone was just dunking on it when it came out. Because it is a dumb system. Switch 2, you better have baked in communication features, please. But popping in, and it was like just such a fun mix of people. There was like, I met so many new people through this system, and like there were different kind of crews. Like people, you would just kind of bounce around and you'd start to get to know the other weirdos who would like pop on and like talk on Mario Kart.
Hell yeah.
Huge like gaps in like ages too. Like you'd like, cause I thought maybe it would just be little kids. It was mostly people older than me, like 35,
boomers.
40. Yeah, like it became like almost like a VR chat type experience where like you're playing just to chat and talk and have fun. And that part of it was fun. I also did get pretty good at the game. So that was fun too. At least until they ruined it with the DLC. Anyway, what is your number 6 pick?
My number 6 pick is Wargroove. You know about
Wargroove? Yeah.
Okay.
Indie.
I mean, it's on like everything, but I played it on Switch, and it feels like a Switch game to me.
It feels like a Switch game to me too, just because my good buddy bought it on Switch. And
it's heavily inspired by Advance Wars, right?
Yeah.
So it's a Switch game. I think it's way more mechanically in-depth. I think the objectives are way more varied than Advanced Wars ever was. I think it's a case where the fans kind of got the gist of the game better than Nintendo ever has, or Intelligent Systems, whoever made Advance Wars. Yeah, ever.
Well, did you buy the remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played it. It's a soulless husk of a remake. It's not that good.
I like
Wargroove is better in every way. Like,
I haven't played Wargroove, so I can't speak to that. But I believe you because of...
Let me sell you.
Yeah.
Let me sell you.
On it. Yeah, sell me on it.
In Wargroove, there is a map maker, like in Advance Wars, but there's also like a robust way to find other people's maps. So you can just
see other people's maps and play them?
Yes. There's like a Mario Maker-esque bazaar where you can play endless Wargroove maps for all time. But wait, there's more. I'm waiting. Not only...
we're waiting. We're waiting right now.
Not only is there a map editor, there is a full campaign maker where you can add in dialogue and cutscenes and string different battles together.
Okay.
That you can just like play other people's that have just made just on the you don't even have to get your computer involved. You just look for the things on the Switch and you just
so
play
it's
them.
like you have basically infinite ways to play through different challenges.
You do. It's a game. It's a bottomless game. And
that's kind of the appeal of some rogue like games.
Yeah, but it's not a roguelike because like there was intentionality behind.
It's intentionally designed.
Yes. Yeah. And like not only that, but like the tools they give you, just like the way this is harder to explain, like but just from an abstract point of view, I think the way that the units work together is better than in any Advance Wars game.
Okay.
I feel like there's no filler units that you would never want. Everything in Wargroove has a purpose in a way that you would actually want to use it. The AI is way better than it ever was in any Advance Wars game. You can cheese every Advance Wars game with some pretty underhanded tactics that do not work in Wargroove.
Well, let me ask you this. One more question about Wargroove.
Okay.
Tell me. What's the music like? Because Advance Wars has some incredible music.
I can't think of a single song in the whole game.
Okay. But it doesn't matter. Well, are you someone who generally like pays attention to the soundtrack in games, or is that just kind of a non-factor? As long
it depends on the game. If it's an exceptional game, the song gets stuck in my head. I got one coming up where the soundtrack's a big part of it. But
okay.
This is not that. And same Advance Wars, like, I remember the songs, not because they're good songs, but because I played the games for a good jillion hours as a kid.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like if I had grown up with Wargroove, I would know the songs, but I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Okay.
So
Well,
anyway,
cool.
number 5 for you. What is it?
Okay, let me see. My number 5 pick is Splatoon 2.
Yeah, how much do you play of this game?
Well, I don't play it anymore.
Well, like, how much time, like, what's the hour count, say, on your Switch?
It's probably at roughly 170 to 200
Oh.
hours.
I definitely have more in mind then.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Somewhere in that ballpark. I played 3 as well. Did you play 3?
Not nearly as much. I might not have hit 50 in that one.
I could kind of just say Splatoon 2 and 3. They feel kind of like the same
they're
game.
the same game.
They're the same game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had more fun with 2. 3 got a little sweaty for me. Like
think
I
so?
feel like I was like really having a fight for my life and like just like turf war. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that didn't like people were coming in with like perfectly kitted out like outfits and it was just kind of like, "Oh my gosh, dude."
I'm
like,
not a turf war guy. I don't like it.
Oh, you only like the other kind of games?
I like ranked. I like the objectives.
So you don't like Splatfest then?
Oh, you're right, because the Splatfests are just turf war. No, I'll get into a Splatfest just to
Yeah.
argue with people about what side you're on.
The Splatfest mechanic with 3 different options, it just wasn't as polarizing as like 2.
Yeah, it needs to
worked
be
better
2.
in Splatoon 2.
Needs to be 2.
So 2 is definitely, I prefer it. I had a lot of fun playing that game. I did play Splatoon 1 on the Wii U.
Same.
But I didn't play nearly as much as I played Splatoon 2.
Interesting, because I got less into it over time. Splatoon 1 was by far my most played. 2 I was into, but I wasn't like into.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 was like, I played it for a week and then it was done.
Okay, I will bring this up. There was a certain Splatfest in Splatoon 2 that it was just a turning point for me in terms of like, I cared.
What?
And it was which superpower would you pick between flight or invisibility?
I picked invisibility.
Yeah, see, I thought there was a chance you did, and I picked flight, and I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand the invisibility pick.
Well, okay, I can't understand the flight pick because you can't keep it a secret. Everybody knows you can fly. If you're invisible, you can keep that on the DL. You can use that to your advantage more.
First of all, I don't care if people know I can fly. I just want to fly. And second of all, you could wear a mask.
No, I think it's kind of lame. I think you become too much of a pariah if you can fly. Yet if you're invisible, there's all sorts of things you can do. It opens the doors in so many other ways.
What is one thing you can do while invisible that's actually cool?
You can rob a bank.
People say that, dude. That's flight is better.
You can eavesdrop on conversations. Come on.
A lot of people say you could eavesdrop right outside the window, flying your ass off. Here's the thing. Like, those are things I would never do anyway. Like, I don't have an interest in robbing anything.
Well, okay, I mean, all right.
But even if I did, it's the getaway that's the hard part.
No.
You don't think so? You don't think
if you're invisible, how are you
walking out?
Well, okay.
You can land in someone's backyard and take their grill.
We need powers. Okay. There needs to be rules. Like, do you need to be naked for this to work?
No. So my thing is, you can't touch other things and make them invisible, but you can make things on your person, your part of your outfit, invisible.
What if you put it in your mouth? Well, then it's not
invisible.
exposed to the world.
It's invisible.
Okay.
It's invisible if you put it in your mouth. But if it's something like, a big lamp, you can't just turn that invisible, buddy.
No.
It's floating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you could still make it work for you.
Does the freedom of flight not sound appealing to you?
The freedom of being able to film places without getting kicked out, that's pretty appealing.
Well, the camera would be floating, but your glasses, if you had the thing, you're already not filming people, though, or like no one can know with the glasses you use.
People might know.
Maybe.
Nobody has stopped me yet, but it could happen.
Okay, well, what's your number 5?
My number 5. Zordor, Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
It is... I already talked about my notes for this game. I said it's rare that everybody you know is playing the same game at the same time. And this was that case.
To be fair, that was a different topic.
Yeah. All right. So,
You
when
should
Breath
say
of the
that
Wild
again.
came out, it destroyed the world. Productivity went to zero because everybody was playing this game.
Yeah.
The fact that you could play a Zelda game where there was a button dedicated to jumping was too much for our brains to handle at the time.
People forget that.
People do forget that because
Yeah.
now it's so ubiquitous. It's like
Yes.
we can't imagine the world any other way. It's rare that a game comes along and just terraforms everything and everybody agrees that it's a masterpiece. And that's kind of why it's so low on my list, because it's not a personal pick. If you're going to have a personal list of your top Switch games, I feel like Breath of the Wild is just way too basic a pick. Also, I have the version that doesn't have a back because it came with a special edition.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't either until I was looking at it right now. And I'm like, oh, this is no back on this.
Oh, that's
it's just
sick.
artwork.
All right. Well, I have a lot to say. Probably Breath of the Wild is
It's
also
your
on my list.
I know. That was my other prediction.
Yeah,
That was our other crossover game.
So, let me think. I will wait to say my thoughts for a little bit until until we get to. It's coming up. I'll say
We'll
that.
go to your 4 then. We'll go to your 4.
Dark Souls Remastered.
You put it on?
I did.
Man. Okay.
Okay, so the thing is, when we were discussing the rules for this, we were talking about like, oh, it's not a Switch game. It is a Switch game.
That was my example for not a Switch game, by the way.
Yeah. So the thing is, I definitely didn't play this version first. This is not the first time I've played
Same.
Dark Souls. I've played every version of Dark Souls. Every single version.
Well, you haven't played the PlayStation ones because you don't have a PlayStation.
Actually, you're right. I didn't play the PlayStation one. I did play Demon's Souls, though. I borrowed a PlayStation to play it. But
Cool.
this game was unique because the remastered version of Dark Souls on every other platform,
Yeah.
which I also own, it's different. The textures are different. The lighting effects are different. The way that the armor shines is different. The weapons too. The bonfire is replaced with like a generic fire. The item pickups look different. The fog doors are a texture, not fog. It is botched, in my opinion. And
I wouldn't call it botched.
it's scuffed.
Okay.
It's scuffed. It runs at 60, but I never needed it to run at 60 to have fun. I had
Yeah, I don't care
plenty of
about
fun in the original 360 version. And, Miyazaki made that kind of joke excuse that it was more cinematic.
Sure.
But you know what? I kind of buy it. It does look good still. Anyway, the Switch version was basically Prepare to Die edition,
Yeah.
but ported to Switch.
Yep.
And so Prepare to Die edition was taken off. This is the only way. This is the best way to play Dark Souls like currently on any system right now. If you told me what's the best way to play it, I would say the Switch. The only issue is the audio is compressed too much to fit on the cartridge.
Get it on PlayStation or Xbox. I disagree.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I think the differences are so minor. It's like the fog door, it looks different, and the bonfire
they're
looks
so-
different. Like, whatever.
I can't overstate the importance of the way that game looks and feels to me. It just kind of kills the atmosphere for me. I totally get it though. Like some people are frame rate above everything. That's the difference maker. You know who you are basically. I will say, like if you value frame rate, just get the PS whatever version. But the Switch version does fix issues with the frame rate. It's like it was like 15 frames per second in Blighttown, for example.
Yeah,
in the
it's
original
not
version.
like that anymore.
And it's a solid 30 pretty much throughout the whole thing. But yeah, that game was so much fun to play, and it was one where the portability factor was huge for me. So that's why it's one of my favorite games of all time, not just the Switch. But on the Switch list, because it is not like natively a Switch game, I couldn't put it in the top 3. So 4 it is for Dark Souls Remastered for me.
It's one of my favorite games. It's not a Switch game, so it can't be on the list.
This version is special to me.
Sure. All right.
Anyway, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Really?
Gets way too much. You're surprised by this?
I am.
Why? I like this game.
I know
it's
you like
great.
that game. I guess I could have totally seen a list with no Paper Mario from you.
Okay. Well, here it is, and it's very high.
It is
I
very
think-
high.
I think this is the most heartfelt Mario game ever made. This one specifically. The battles are poop, but who cares? The battles are poop in most games. I would say that the battles are poop in Super and
You would know a lot more about battles being poop putting yourself in a lot of games with those kinds of battles.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think the battles are very good in 64 to the Thousand Year Door either. I think it's a moot complaint. It's like, okay, well, the battles were never that great anyway. They're all right, but they're not the fucking greatest thing ever. And they're not the greatest thing ever in this. What this does have is legitimately well-written characters, despite them not having DeviantArt pirate hats and shit on them.
I find that interesting because I feel like there's a narrative around this game that it's just like Sticker Star.
No, they're stupid.
Or
people
Color
who say
Splash.
people who say that, well, Color Splash is a fantastic game. I actually like it more than this one by a little bit. By a little bit, not by much. But they're just wrong. Like they equate character not with the writing and what happens to them in the story and how they play off and affect each other. They mean character as in Miyamoto won't let them draw silly outfits on them anymore.
Yeah.
Which is asinine.
So you're saying the writing is good.
The writing is phenomenal.
The writing is phenomenal.
This is the best writing in any like Nintendo made game ever. In the last two Paper Marios, like Color Splash and Origami King. I guess Thousand Year Door also.
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of
pretty
people
good writing
feel
in
that
that
one.
too.
So, but that's one that couldn't be on this list, for the record.
It could have been. The remake could have been.
You think so?
I didn't put it on, but it could have been.
So you prefer this to the well, okay, I am curious. Do you prefer this to the Thousand Year Door GameCube?
It's tough. I mean,
Tough.
I think the Thousand Year Door is a better designed game. I do think this one's better written.
Okay.
I do think that Thousand Year Door is probably funnier. Thousand Year Door is a pretty funny game.
Yeah.
Like the humor, it's here in this. I don't think it's as funny as Color Splash or.
I don't think a Paper Mario game has to be funny. For the record.
I mean, that's kind of a focus in a lot of them.
Well, I mean, there's always a humor element, but I don't need to be laughing out loud.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I get that. Well, anyway, it's a great game. It gets shit for no reason. Just
I
because
might
it's
have
not
to play it. I skipped it.
It's what you explained with the 3D world phenomenon.
Yeah.
People hate on this game because they want something else, and
Yes.
they can't have something else, and they think that something else is dead. And it might be dead. Who knows? Because they haven't made another one. But it's just the fans of the original games didn't like the direction the series went in. And for whatever reason, when they made Sticker Star, they were like, we're not doing wacky character designs anymore. You're sticking to the meat and potatoes Mario enemies, and you're gonna like it.
Don't forget to get angry at Miyamoto over this.
Grr, Miyamoto, how dare you ruin
How
Paper
dare
Mario?
you, Miyamoto?
Grr, yeah. I don't think that ruins the game, and I made the case in my video that I think that choice strengthens Color Splash. I don't know if I would say that it strengthens this game, but there are, there's cute moments with, familiar people that you might not have gotten in older Paper Marios.
Yeah, link to Jason's Mario video, Paper Mario video, in the description.
Yeah, maybe. Perhaps. It's a little long.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
You're number 3.
Yeah. Number 3, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh, we have 3 crossover games. I forgot you were into Fire Emblem. I thought you didn't play this.
I love Fire Emblem.
Okay.
So this game was amazing. Can you agree?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen it on my list yet, and it's coming.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, we can hold off some of the discussion too. I figured when we got towards the top, that was possibly where some crossover was going to happen.
That's fine.
But
no, just go now. We'll talk about it here.
Sure. Yeah. Just such a fun game. Both facets of it. The tutoring, lecturing portion, the parts spent at the monastery and the parts battling, I enjoyed both thoroughly.
Of course.
The characters were great. Playing through the different paths was fun. It was so funny too, because it really captured like that 2017 energy again. It felt like everyone was playing this game.
I mean, when did it come out? 2018? It wasn't that far after.
I think it was late 2018 though, and it was early 2017 though, and so it felt like kind of a big gap.
Felt like a couple years in.
Yeah, what did you think about this game?
This game's phenomenal. I mean, it's very high on my list. We'll get to it. I really don't have that much to say about it though. I just think it's the best overall Fire Emblem game. If you're not gonna include old Emblem like Genealogy of the Holy War, I think it's by far the best modern one.
Like the best Fire Emblem game that came out in North America officially.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd
I'd probably even put it over Genealogy of the Holy War too, just because that game's it's old. It's kind of a mess to play, but
For me, I need, it's, I don't know. I know too many Fire Emblem people now that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think I love Awakening.
Me too.
I think there's a really good point that there are two kinds of Fire Emblem games. There's the kinds that lean way more heavily into actual strategy.
Awakening changed it forever.
Yeah, now
is
they're
a-
like RPG hybrids,
Yeah,
basically.
there's a before and an after clearly
Yeah.
with that game. This is after, and it's definitely the best of the after.
Going back to Tetris 99, this is the theme I would play most often, is the Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, I think this was up there for me too because it was non-distracting. I remember it now.
Yeah, it's like dun, 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 dun. The music was so good. I absolutely loved it. Which color did you pick first?
I was yellow.
Yellow first?
I only did 2 runs. I did yellow and then I did the one that's different. You go to red and then you go off with the girl.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about
you do the evil
No,
route.
the church one is the different one.
The fuck you talking about?
You can side with the church.
I don't remember what then. I did one that was like different, I think.
I did blue and yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't they the same?
No.
Oh. Okay.
That was cool too. Like you were given legitimately different endings.
Yeah.
And the crux were like you're fighting kids that like playing through and like, okay, I don't want to kill this person, so I'm going to complete the objective of the map, but I'm not killing anybody that I'm friends with.
It's
I
cool.
tried to recruit as much as I could, but you couldn't. There just wasn't
can't do
enough
them all.
time.
Can't do them
Especially on a first playthrough. And just the class system and everything, it was so fun. So much fun.
Who'd you wife the first time?
Maribel.
Was she blue hair?
Yes.
Yeah, I did Lythiesta. She had white hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying for Rhea the second time, but I screwed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's possible. If doing it without picking the church, because that's the easy way to do it, I think it's possible to get enough points before, but I messed it up. Sadly.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay.
Sucks.
Well, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Moon, lowercase. It's all lowercase.
The classic RPG?
Yeah. This was a legendary PlayStation 1 RPG that for years had always been whispered about. People would say that Final Fantasy is amazing and that like Xenogears is amazing. And then some weirdo would be like, in Japan, you can't call Moon. But for years nobody could play it because it didn't even get a fan translation.
I thought it came out here before.
No.
I didn't know that.
And then in, I think, 2019, one Timothy Rogers translated the game.
The whole game?
Well, I mean, he had help, but like he's the
Okay.
most famous person on the translation team.
Okay.
The idea, do you know the premise of the game at all?
No.
So, the
I
idea...
know about its legendary status, but I don't know anything about the actual game. I try to stay spoiler free, but I don't care about this one.
Oh, I was going to say, I mean, I'm going to spoil... I'm at least going to tell you the premise. I don't
Tell
have to
me.
tell you how it ends.
Hit me with the premise.
The premise is you exist in an RPG world. You are a little boy playing an RPG, and then you get sucked into the game. Isn't there like a term for that, like isekai or some shit? It's like
I
that.
don't know.
But the premise is you're not the hero. You exist in this RPG world, but the hero is going around doing heroic things. But like in him doing generic things that like people do, like as an RPG protagonist, that like doesn't make sense in a real world, like going into people's houses and just like fucking stealing the shit and leaving.
Yeah.
It plays on that, and it's like you trying to heal the world that the hero is like breaking. So
That's amazing.
yeah, that's the premise of it's a really kind of a chill game. Like you walk around like really slow.
Do you fix people's pots in this game?
You don't fix people's pots, but like you fix their problems. Like
Okay.
everybody has problems in their lives caused by this JRPG hero going around.
So he
doing-
leaves kind of a lot in his wake.
Yes, doing heroic things that are actually like really a problem for this world.
Okay.
And here is, I think out of all the games on my list, this is the one I think you would get the most out of, like if you were to play it.
Okay.
And here's an element I think you will just love. I think this is like the best thing.
Okay.
The soundtrack of this game, like you choose it because in the game you have like a Discman. You have like a disc Walkman and you're wearing headphones.
Yeah?
And you buy CDs in the game, and you make like a list of like CDs to put in your Discman, and that's the soundtrack of the game.
That's pretty cool.
There's like 100 something different CDs you can buy, and you
Does
just
this
put them in the
version
Discman.
look like the PS1 version?
Yeah, it's the same. It's just a PS1 translated ROM
Okay.
that they sold for $20.
Nice. That's not bad.
It exists physical, but I don't own it physical. I only got it digital because the physical came later, and I already bought it digital. So
Yeah. Many such cases.
yeah, it is. The music is phenomenal. Like the soundtrack is a big part of this game because it was one of those things where they just got a whole bunch of Japanese bands to just contribute a shit ton of songs,
Nice.
and there's just a whole bunch of just like cool music.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like it's
So if
a
I get
weird
one game off this list, it should be this one.
yeah, it's a weird like subversion of RPGs where you play as like a little dead boy that comes back to life as an invisible ghost. He has the invisible superpower.
Oh, well, maybe that might sway. It won't sway me. But I will say, he does kind of look, if I'm remembering correctly, he looks kind of like the Black Mage in Final Fantasy 1, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's wearing like a hoodie.
Yeah.
Well, he's wearing a hoodie because he's invisible and he wants to still seem like a person.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, what happens is once you get sucked into the TV, this old lady who's blind finds you and she thinks that you're her grandson who's actually dead. So she just like acts like you're her grandson, and that's that. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Masterpiece of a game. It's glad it finally came out.
10 out of 10.
It's a Switch game because it was, it didn't come to America until the Switch version.
Did this release multiplat?
It did, but not till later. It came to
Okay.
Switch first, and then a couple years later, it came to the other things.
A true Switch title.
So it is a Switch game.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your number 2?
Breath of the Wild.
Very good. Very good.
My number 2 game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was just so, like, I did genuinely enjoy this game. It's not just because everyone else was playing it at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I liked it too. That's just, it's a big reason.
I liked the breakable weapons. I did.
You're weird.
I view it as kind of like you're playing Halo 1 and you've got ammo for your rocket launcher.
Sure.
You've got to learn to let go. You're going to pick up a fuel rod cannon just a little bit later. Actually, you won't because that's not in that game. But you know what I mean? A sniper rifle, a pistol, shotgun. Like, it's just ammunition. And the world mechanic, the hidden world level mechanic behind it, where the more enemies you kill, the more abilities are going to be on the weapons that they hold. It's a very, like, elegant system. And it's like, it's never not cool to get a badass weapon as a reward for a shrine or something, or to find one as the extra.
I don't think I like the combat in Breath of the Wild at all.
It's okay.
In a hard mode, what was it called? Master mode?
Master mode.
That's good combat. I really liked Master mode.
I love that they put a Lionel in the Great Plateau.
Yeah.
Another thing to mention, the Great Plateau is perhaps the greatest video game opening I've ever played.
It's a wonderful area. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I think that it's almost like it's so good that it does kind of make you just wish the rest of the game could come closer to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the world was a lot of fun to explore. I think it suffers a little for replayability because I did replay this game.
I played it twice, yeah.
Yeah, and I did replay it again on Master Mode, and then I also did a 3-heart run. So I played it 3 times.
Okay.
And on replays, it was nice to just be able to be like, you know what? I'm not doing these shrines. I've already done them. So I was just kind of vibing, and like it made cooking more of something that mattered because like there were fun ways to play the game, but it's definitely a game that's like built around that first experience. And personally, I prefer games that feel a little more replayable. But it did such a good job. It was not what I expected or wanted Zelda Wii U to be, but it was so good in other ways that it just didn't matter.
Did you ever play through it on Wii U?
No, I did try it on Wii U, but I was fully Switch. I was like, I'm just getting this on Switch.
I bought it on Wii U. I never even put it in. So.
It's cool to have on Wii U.
Yeah. I mean, that felt like the culmination of the Wii U. Just for its own like sake. It kind of felt like I had to get it.
It's part of why I bought one. I mean, I scoured over those Zelda Wii U trailers. You see, the biggest heartbreak for me was that Aonuma said in an interview after the first one that like that's actually the game that you see there. And I figured it would look worse, but I trusted him and that what I was seeing was what the world was going to be. And I like had already mapped out everywhere I wanted to go. And so when they came out with that footage at the Game Awards where it looked slightly different, I noticed immediately, because they showed the map for a second, like the topography. I was like,
Oh.
I traced it for like, because I was in panic mode, and I realized it wasn't the same. It had changed, and I was like, no, because I was so ready to explore that specific vision that they had showed me in that initial 2014 trailer. But
Remember when Link was supposedly a woman in that game?
oh yeah, some people were saying because of the hips. He has hips in that game.
That trailer came out and everybody's like, Link's a girl now.
Well, yeah, just because of the long hair.
Yeah.
What? Link's a girl?
Dude, do you get comments like that?
Sometimes, yeah. Oh, well, on my YouTube channel, HPRshredder, all the
Yeah.
time. I think it's because we make videos that target an older demographic primarily, and they see us and think we need to be bullied into cutting our hair.
That is like my grandma's point of view.
Oh, really?
Like if I tell my grandma that I'm gonna go to Alabama, she'll be like, "Don't you dare wear a hat the whole time. You're they're gonna kill you."
Oh my god. I get a lot of people mistakenly think I have a side ponytail. They don't realize that it's the spill off of a bun. Like that it's wrapped up in a bun and we both have really long hair.
Yeah.
Do you cut yours at all?
I have not cut my hair in 14 years.
Yeah, I haven't cut my hair in forever.
Yeah. This is as long as it gets. This is maximum length. It stays this length.
Yeah, mine is at maximum length as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get them. And it's funny how much it bothers some people because like I was someone who watched like Boogie 2988, for example. But like looking at someone who's like not pretty is not a problem for me.
Yeah, what? I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we should move on to number 1 then.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 games left, but I'll tell you what they are and it'll spoil the other one.
Yeah, no, I was like, wait a second. Okay,
well, I mean,
what's your number 2?
I already told you. I already told you what one of them is. So when I reveal number 2, it'll tell you, well, number 2 is Mario Maker 2. So 1 has to be Fire Emblem. We already talked about Fire Emblem. So
Fire Emblem's an excellent pick for best game.
Yeah. It wasn't even that hard, actually. When I made the list, I'm like, yeah, I guess that's 1. That's probably 1.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Did you play the DLC?
I don't even remember if it existed.
Yeah, DLC came out for it, and I didn't play it because there was so much content baked into the original game. I was like, I haven't finished everything yet. Let me finish everything first.
Yeah, I don't think I ever dabbled into the DLC.
Yeah, maybe I should. I mean, I love the game so much.
Well, anyway, Mario Maker 2, my number 2 game that I now have to talk about. Favorite Mario game ever. I think it's the definite upgrade over the Wii U one, even though you can't draw the levels. That's a bummer.
I was
but
just about to say you're a Wii U lover and defender.
Yeah, but they added too much to this to ignore.
Yeah,
like the Wii U one doesn't have slopes. You can't even have a sliding down slope in that one. This is bottomless Mario. It's endless Mario. It is a million monkeys at a million typewriters making Mario levels. Mm-hmm. And I think this game is truly magical, and it's at its best when you can envision the 9-year-old who has crafted the experience in front of you. The absolute fucking horseshit in front of you. When you just get a random stage, and it's just madness.
Do you
it's
rate
like
them?
My favorite thing ever. Yeah, oh yeah, if I like a level, I give it a thumbs up. If I don't, I give it a thumbs down.
Okay.
Of course.
I feel like I would feel too bad to give them a thumbs down unless it made me rage.
No. I give thumbs down.
I didn't play Super Mario Maker 2.
You didn't even play it?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
The speed running aspect is incredible.
Yeah, see, I played the first one. It wasn't for me just because too many of the levels were just kooky, crazy auto-scrollers or kill you in 2 seconds.
I don't fuck with those. The auto-scrollers, who gives a shit?
Like, there were too many that were just like, you don't even play them. You just go through them.
I know what you mean. Here's what you do. You
it probably got better in 2.
You go to the random levels. No. Because if you go to the top levels, that's all they are. They're all that bullshit. I don't care about that.
Mm.
You set it to hard, not very hard. Very hard is too hard. You set it to hard or normal, if you're a little puss. And you just hit random levels and you keep going. And it is endless fun. Sometimes you get something cool. Most of the time you get just trash thrown at you, and it is spectacular trash.
But it's fun.
It is, yes, creme de la creme fun trash. There's also like levels that Nintendo made, and they're fine, I guess.
I know the community is very serious behind this game.
I mean, they're serious in making like fucking Kaizo levels. I don't care about that. Well, sort of like in Wargroove, you can make your own campaigns in this too. And people can play your like Mario campaigns. You can string levels together. I have had the same one up on my profile. Like, I haven't played this game since the year it came out, really.
Yeah.
But I got just as into making levels as I did playing them.
Yeah,
too.
it's a cool tool.
Yeah. There are 2 levels called Mario Zuma's Revenge that I'm very proud of. It's based on Montezuma's Revenge, the like old Commodore game.
I need to play your levels.
Dude, if you have Mario Maker 2, you should. And there's one called Epic Tower, which is the best
Just
thing.
Epic Tower?
It's called Epic Tower. It is the best Mario level that has ever been made.
You have codes for those, right?
Is that how it works? I don't know.
I don't know. We can put them in the description if we find them.
I can give them to you, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my list, because Fire Emblem's number 1. We already said our piece. It's a great game.
Damn. Well, I'm sorry I picked your number 1 game.
No, it's fine. It was gonna happen. I didn't think it was gonna be on your list, because I thought you told me you hadn't played it. Mine came with like earrings or some shit. I don't even know what this is.
Mine didn't.
Oh.
No, of course I played it. I loved that game to death. But I guess I'll just say my number 1 then. Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Very nice.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice.
Didn't play it, but very nice.
Yeah, this game just hit in all the right ways for me.
Yeah.
It had just the most addicting battle system. It's so funny because it's like it unironically takes 20 hours to kind of get into it. Like,
that's ridiculous.
you have to spend 20 hours roughly to get to the point where you actually have the battle system as a whole unlocked.
I just heard British people in the cutscenes and determined the game was not for me.
Did you you see, I followed Xenoblade Chronicles 1's like path to the United States.
Like Project
I voted
Rainfall,
on the
whatever.
cover and everything.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I didn't buy the game when it came out.
What?
I bought it later on the 3DS. Yeah. But like it was one of those games I really wanted to play, and then for some reason I just didn't get it. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I still haven't played through the full game of the first one, by the way.
Interesting, but you still love 2.
Oh, it was amazing.
Huh.
It was amazing. Like, and it makes me worried that I won't like 1 as much, and that's part of the reason why I didn't get definitive.
What about
edition.
3? You don't even think about 3?
I own 3.
Yeah.
Sakina played 3, and so did my buddy Brett. Neither seemed to vibe with it nearly as hard. And the combat's a lot different. I plan to play them all. I plan to play all the Xenogears games. I plan to play Xenosaga as well, eventually. But Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was special. I just liked you'd build up these elemental orbs, and like it was just so in depth. Like each weapon was a character. That was fun to me. Like every weapon had a personality and like a physical human form, and they had every weapon had a complete tree of things that you could unlock. And so it was just like it hit at the right time. End of 2017, we're done with the big ones, and like winter break at the time, because I was in school at the time.
Yeah.
Just sunk my teeth in and just had just a terrific time. I guess I can just stop talking about it. I just loved that game. I really did.
I did play X. I got X on Wii U.
Okay.
I was a desperate Wii U owner wanting something to play, so I got that the day it came out. And now the value has plummeted because they're porting it.
Well, I love the song Once You Get the Mech that plays.
I only played it for like 2 hours.
You don't get the Mac until like 40 hours in.
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say,
another one of those. Yeah, like you have to like be okay with it, like low key wasting your time.
Yeah.
But it's just so addicting once it hits.
Sure.
Really enjoy the gameplay. Now,
All right. Well, yeah, that was our Switch list.
that's our Switch list. One final question before we sign off. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
Does it have is there a possibility it cracks your top 12 after it releases? Do you feel good about that game?
You can't grill me on Metroid. You didn't have Metroid on your list either.
I didn't. Well, you had it in your honorable mentions.
I thought about putting it on my 12. It just, like, Dread just barely missed. I don't like Prime.
No, I'm talking about.
Care about
oh, so
4.
Prime. I'm saying.
No, I don't
4.
like Prime 1. So
You
why
don't
would
like
I?
Prime 1?
No. Game's poop. Most overrated Nintendo game ever made. Stop. No. So
It's
four
one of the most
is not on my
beloved
radar.
games.
4 is not on my radar.
Okay, so it's
don't
not
care.
on your radar.
No, it would not make the 12 in any universe. No.
That checks out just because it does look like a Metroid Prime game. Personally, I was hoping it would look a little less like a typical Metroid Prime because we already have 3 of those. But I totally understand if, the appeal of something that is conventional.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I were to make a top 50 GameCube games, I don't think Metroid Prime would be on the list.
Wow.
Like I'm just not. I don't like that game at all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not even the music?
It's all right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Great way to end it.
I like the menu music. I like. That's a good song. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
All right. All right. That was our list. Like, comment, subscribe if you also hate Metroid Prime.
Yeah, and stay patient.
Okay, we're done.